Okay, so like you know me, I recorded this like 3, 4 times, and I feel like sometimes I can be a yapper, but this video has been called to me for a long time, and I'm low key been avoiding it. Maybe because sometimes I feel like some information you just don't want it to. I'm gatekeeping just a tad bit, but I won't gatekeep too much. So basically, this is the reason why this video keeps coming up, because I see a lot of people that work in the spiritual community as a career, whether it's tarot readings, spiritual readings, however, mediumship readings, however it works. I can see why people hit a dead end financially and can have a hard time really keeping clientele or building clientele. A lot of reasons too. Some not in your control, but a lot can be in your control. But this can be more about how you can make tarot or readings in general a real career. Cause people really make real money off of this. I make money off of this. I can make a lot more, but it's not your business why. But this is what I will say. Do not, that's my toddler, do not, absolutely do not quit your day job. If you are just starting readings or you're still doing readings, don't quit your day job. Unless you're kind of like set up and blessed and lucky, you can just kind of do that in your free time. So yeah, me personally, I always keep about 2 forms of income. I try to keep 2 forms of income, but when I'm down on 1 form of income, obviously I just work 10 times harder than I can to make up my income. Okay, so there's 2 consistent ways to make money off of spiritual readings, or just, well, yeah, really this is about readings. Spiritual readings, mediumship readings, whatever. You can either go solo or you can go contract. Now, a lot of us usually start off solo. I'm still basically solo. Contracting is still solo. You're just not a full-time employee. It's the same exact way it's set up with anybody else that's in contracting. You have a contract with business. This is a certain amount. Depending on how the business or what business you work with, you can change your prices, up your prices, whatever the case may be. I really actually love the company I'm with because I can up and down my prices whenever I want, and I can clock out whenever I want. So definitely I would say that. Be careful who you contract with too, because some companies really like to try to take advantage of your time and things like that, and people do forget tarot readers, spiritual readers, we do have a life too, I have a whole kit. Now, whether you do sole proprietorship or contracting, please understand you need a 1099. When you do taxes, no matter which route you go, you will owe. Unless you're doing something different, where you're somehow paying throughout each quarter, which that was actually more difficult for me. But if you're smart enough to keep doing that, you can tell them each quarter what you've been doing or certain things like that. Take another route. But if you want to wait, like I usually do, until tax season comes around, just know you are going to owe every time. And when you do owe, it does not mean you got to pay all that money off gate. Because trust, the first time I got my tax return, I see how much I owed. Yeah, no. But you could do a payment plan. So just understand, the more money you make, the more you got to pay back. Unless you know how to take out your own taxes. I highly doubt a lot of people do. Now, when it comes to payroll and making money and everything, when you're a sole proprietor as a tarot reader, everything comes to you however you want to work that. You can use PayPal, you can use Apple Pay, you can do anything like that. But I do say make sure you're using real legit like business platforms to connect you with your customers, keep receipts and things like that. And actually a good one I can think on my head is, that's what it is, Square. Square was it's still my favorite to this day. I got a business card through Square. I think I got it for free. You get a chip so you can swipe it. So when, like, let's say if you do work in a shop, that's another option too. If you work in a crystal shop or something like that to do readings, you can get a spot there. Just like tattoo artists and stuff do, you could do the same thing. So basically you get a business card, you get a chip reader that you can attach to your phone and people can swipe their cards there, or you can just do Apple Pay and things like that. But that app is very, 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 very great. So please don't forget that, because it helped me a lot. Transitioning over, like I said, to contracting, it's kind of the same thing you should have as your structure, but you have a certain amount of time, different type of clients, different type of various ways to talk to clients depending on what platform you are on. And please choose a platform you're really comfortable with, and don't feel bad if you get on a platform and you don't like it. Hey, I love my whole clients on other platforms, but if it's just not working for me, it's not working for me. Peace. So, because there's some platforms where straight phone calls, like back in the day, like I was doing that, an actual network, like people calling in, you don't even know what they look like. like, and you're just doing readings. Or you can, do it however, phone calls, chats. It's a million ways to do that, man. It's a million ways to do that. If you would like to build clientele, sometimes you can do free readings. And I say sometimes, I'm a tourist talking. Sometimes you can do free readings or cheap readings. $5 car pools, $5 readings if you're a beginner and stuff like that. Now, do understand, if you do contract, you do get reviews. I mean, you get reviews regardless, but you do get reviews. And don't let them steer you wrong, because some people are just weird and some people just don't like the answer. So don't think you're going to get fired or anything like that. Sometimes you just don't connect with the person. Like I said, I think the biggest con is that someone else can kind of hold you accountable a little bit when you're contracting, but you pretty much can do whatever you want. Clock in and out, blah, 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 going about your day. The con is, if you do decide to work with platforms, if you decide to contract with them, there are certain rules and regulations to promoting as well too. So make sure, if you're signing contracts with a shop, a platform, or even if you're doubling up with another tier reader and making a business, make sure y'all read that paperwork, because you don't want to get yourself in trouble and be in violation of any contract. So that could be the con too. So, because sometimes in contracts you can't promote yourself on certain things or anything, and if you do, you have to bring them to them. So, yeah. But I hope this is pretty much, a way to help expend some money, help you make some money, some extra money, and how to really run a business. I hope I really was on track. But this is how I've been making it so far. Other than me having a second source of income usually, and times like this when I don't, I just try to, like I said, work my time and make my money and do what I can. That's all I can do. If I don't know about contracting with two companies at the same time, definitely look into that as well. If you want to know what companies I have worked with or companies that you can work with, maybe I should make a video on that too. But anyways, enough yapping. I hope this was helpful for who it was helpful for. And yeah, see you next time.